Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the Fate Samurai Remnant game that just came out a couple weeks ago, and this is my review on it as I have spent quite a bit of time completing it. But before we jump into the rest of the video, I upload videos daily, so if you do like what you see, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I need to get out of the way is Koei Tecmo did sponsor this video. They sent me the game code for free so that I had early access to this game in order to complete it. It did take me a while, but nevertheless, it is a pretty fun game. Now with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is this game is developed by Omega Force. For those who don't know, Omega Force has made a lot of the Dynasty Warrior games, Samurai Warrior games, as well as a lot of collaboration games such as the Fire Emblem Warriors, the One Piece Warriors, the Persona 5 Strikers, and they've done a ton of collaborations with other animes as well as other games into this sort of Dynasty Warrior formula where you play one character and you go off and you slay thousands if not tens of thousands of enemies. So I had very high hopes for Fate Samurai Remnant because I saw that it was developed by Omega Force, and I immediately thought of Fate Extella. For those who have not played that, that's basically a Musou version or Dynasty Warrior type of version of the Fate series where you run around and you just kill a lot of enemies, and there is a story behind it. Of course, there's a really great storytelling in that game. However, the main focus of that game is like, yeah, you're one person, you kill thousands of enemies, you smash the attack key, you know, you've got your normal attack, you've got your strong attack, so forth and so on, and it's a really fun game. And so when I jumped into Fate Samurai Remnant, I was like, alright, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be like Samurai Warriors, you know, we're in ancient Japan, we've got samurais, we've got katanas, and we're gonna go around and we're gonna kill a bunch of enemies. That is not the case. This game really caught me by surprise because it is a lot more like a visual novel. Now, there are parts, like the combat part does feel like Dynasty Warriors. You know, you do feel like, oh, you're smashing this regular attack as well as a strong attack. You've got your Musou attacks or like your ultimate attacks. And then you've got spells as well as summons because it is in the Fate series. So of course you have to have that. But the thing that really caught me off guard with this game is it's very visual novel first and then Musou Warrior second. So most of the time you are reading dialogues, you are going through cutscenes, you're doing errands, you're doing side quests, you're doing all of these different things. So there are a lot of RPG elements in this as well, but it's not really just like your traditional Dynasty Warriors where you just go from stage to stage and it's just like, yeah, we're gonna kill all these enemies and things are gonna happen dynamically where you need to go rescue these people, or you need to break down this door, or you need to open a switch or whatever. It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels very instance-based where it's like, okay, here's your starting point or here's your base and you got to get to the enemy's base, but you have to follow this very particular path. And when you're following these paths, you get like mini battles in between because you bump into enemies or something happens, so forth and so on. So it's not like your traditional Dynasty Warriors where it's like super big open field. You just kind of run around and you kill enemies and there's like, you know, hundreds and thousands of enemies that you got to kill and tons of power-ups and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it does not follow that formula. It's a lot more segmented and it's a much slower paced game where it is going to be visual novel, or the plot and the story is in the forefront of this game. So if you're planning to get this game to just go in to mindlessly smash buttons and just kill thousands of enemies, unfortunately this isn't that type of game. This is very much storytelling visual novel. So if you do like visual novels and if you do like the Fate series, this game is great. The storytelling is really nice. The pacing is good. I really like the characters in the story. Yes, you do meet certain special characters like Gilgamesh. However, the storyline of Fate Samurai Remnant is very different from the regular Fate series. So from my understanding of the Fate series, every single Fate series that I've seen, there has always been a master and a servant. However, in Fate Samurai Remnant, there are servants that don't have masters, so they're just called like rogue servants. And Gilgamesh is one of these rogue servants where they don't have a master and they can do whatever the heck they want. And Gilgamesh decides to be a shopkeeper. So it's really weird to see Gilgamesh and talk to him and interact with him where he just talks, you know, just like how he always is. He's always insulting you, but he's a shopkeeper. Versus in the other Fate games, you know, Gilgamesh is usually like the big bad super crazy boss that kind of comes in and helps you sometimes, but if you get on his bad side, he's kind of like the Mighty Lu Bu in the Dynasty Warrior series, where he's just like this big bad boss where it's really hard to kill. So it's just really interesting to see that Fate Samurai Remnant does follow the traditional sense where there are 12 servants. However, there's only 6 masters in this game instead of the traditional 12 masters. So that means there are 6 servants that are masterless, and they just kind of do whatever the heck they want, which is really interesting. Personally, I have not watched or read any other Fate series that has done this, so this definitely caught me off guard seeing all of these different characters. And another thing is, of course, you are paired up with Saber, but the Saber in this game is very different from the Saber that you might know from like Fate Stay Night or Fate Zero. They act completely different. Well, I mean, technically they're different characters anyway, so they're supposed to act differently, but that might catch people off guard, especially for players that are new to the Fate series. Personally, I think I'm pretty new to the Fate series. I've only played Fate Extella, and then I've watched the 2 animes, you know, Fate Zero as well as Fate Stay Night. Other than that, I'm pretty foreign to the rest of the Fate universe. And so a lot of the characters that I've met in this game, I didn't know who they were until I played later into the story when they finally revealed their names. I'm just like, oh, that person was XYZ. So at the end of the day, do I recommend this game? If you just want to turn off your brain and just hack and slash and kill thousands of enemies, this game is definitely not for you. However, if you are a big fan of Fate and you're looking for a visual novel of some sort, and you just want to play a game with a well-written story, this game is amazing as a visual novel. The way that I see it is like 70% visual novel, 30% action. That's kind of the balance of how I feel this game is. And the best part is most of the game is actually fully voice acted, so you can just listen to everything and read the subtitles, of course, if you don't understand Nihongo, because well, all of the voices are in Japanese, but it's still a very nice experience. It's kind of feeling like I'm watching an anime half of the time, and then I just kind of progress through the story because I want to watch more episodes of this anime, and that's kind of how I treated it. And I was not disappointed in this game at all because I had that mindset. However, at the very beginning, I was very surprised because I saw Omega Force. I was like, yes, Omega Force, hack and slash, it's gonna be great, kill thousands of enemies. But yeah, that is not the case for this game.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.